Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Imelda, and I'm the only one, the only queen of SLE aside from the other members. Okay, just a little bit of bragging. Okay, and I'd like to talk about SLE, and from its acronym SLE. SLE means social learning in English, and as a member of the Quick Changing Society, I think it is really important to be acquainted with what is currently happening. And it is our main goal to have the students learn and understand and have the opinions about the current global issues. Yes. And to go further about SLE, class materials are based on the timely global news. And we personally choose articles which are also in various themes such as environmental related issues, human rights, business, and also diverse culture. uh, for the social issues, yes, we started with the first social issues that we had was about loneliness, and of course, this is quite timely, not only this year but also last year. So that's one of the example issues, right? And the last one was about Ferrari fashion. So I think these articles are quite interesting that how come that a car company would switch to a fashion industry. And it's really interesting to hear students answer when I ask them, would you buy a Ferrari pair of clothes or Ferrari fashion? And everyone answered in different ways with really diverse opinions and ideas. Some really got interested to try the fashion. Yes. Um, well, I think why can students learn social issues? I think initially students can definitely learn social issues with the articles that we prepared, and also they're in different levels, which can be suitable for different levels of learners from beginner to intermediate up to proficient level of English users. Some activities are also included, such as vocabulary exercises, comprehension activities, interaction, which is one of the main parts of this lesson, since in the interaction parts, they can interact naturally with their ideas and opinions. And also they have another chance to express themselves, which is in a form of writing, since we also have the writing activity. Yes, and as their teacher, it is really necessary for me to um, make some adjustments if necessary. Now, flexibility also really matters for students to feel confident in using the English language. And moreover, it's kind of imperative to make the student get involved. Um, I mean, they get involved the way they feel confident to introduce their opinions, and they would feel empowered that they can say such opinion on a certain issue. Mhm. Well, I think, yeah, it is. Yes, it is possible to use the same article for different levels because our materials are designed for mainly for three levels, from beginners to intermediate and also for upper intermediate. So they can choose from the three choices of articles from the first level, second to the third level. Yes. So uh, it's not a really a challenging thing for students to um, to participate in the class in any kinds of topics. Yes. And well, in that case, I believe people have their own opinions about all the topics, and they really want to express their opinion on some issues also. However, they don't get the chance, or they don't always have the chance to talk about the issue, even in their own language. So in fact, I sometimes hear they say, oh, I've never thought of this issue, or I've never thought about this opinion. So I think it is, yeah, it's, I mean, the way they are asked, and the way they are given chances, they can always feel that, oh, it's quite more effective to learn social issues when they are using English, I mean, using another language. Yes. So the way of thinking is kind of different, which is interesting. The way of thinking in your own country way, for example, in Japanese way, and in uh, from the point of view of a foreigner, is always different. So that makes it more, how can I say, more effective to learn the social English issues when learned in a different language or in English. And I think this is one of the best ways to learn social issues, to have an interaction with a foreigner. Yes, to have an enjoyable talk, but not even topics. I mean, not all the topics are enjoyable. Some are also so serious and make them think so deeply, like, oh, I have never thought about this. I have I've never spoken about this topic in Japanese, right? So it is quite challenging for me to think about it in English now. Yes, but believe me, most of them did it with the simplified questions, and of course, follow-up questions, and given examples as well. They can interact naturally. And well, in terms of beginners, for beginner learners, as what I've perhaps mentioned in the first part, that sometimes it could be challenging for the students to interact on a really serious issue. For example, in a serious issue of human rights, it is really simply hard if done in English for beginner learners. However, it's not also a big issue, since we also have a kind of solution, or we also have a certain solution for that, since we also have the course for beginners, which is called Empowerment in English. And this is ideal and designed for students who might have already a good level in communicating in English. However, they don't feel confident about expressing themselves in English yet. So they can take this course like Empowerment in English to gain more confidence. And also, they can also learn not only about the social issues, since constant guidance is also provided for beginner learners. So it is really attainable for them also to obtain social issues course after having the first, I mean, the other course, which is Empowerment in English. And I'm really glad to I'm really glad to know, I mean, it's students' feedback, since now SL, he has been going for more or less 6 months now. And so far, I've been receiving really lots of comments and positive feedback from my students, that it's really happy thing to hear that they are satisfied with the lessons, and actually the quality of interaction that they can get from the lesson makes me satisfied as the teacher. And of course, I also learned a lot from them, actually. since all of them are so full of knowledge and ideas and opinions that I I could hear all of these opinions and ideas. I mean, straight from them. So they sometimes say, thank you for the rich conversation. So from that word, this is really, really good word to hear. Like, thank you for the rich conversation. It's not just a plain conversation, but a rich conversation. So I'm really thankful. Well, it has been a dream to come to Japan. Yes. I think it's for around 10 years now since I started study. Working as an ESL teacher. I've heard a lot about Japan, about the places, about the culture. Yes. So it has been a dream. Yes. So hopefully after this pandemic, it's gonna be hopefully it's gonna be really in the near future. Yes. And I'm making some really little improvement or like a little steps about learning hiragana and katakana nowadays, but I found that it's not easy to learn a second language, and I myself experienced that. It's starting from zero level. It's really a challenging thing to remember how to write characters, just like the way I learned the ABCs, and it's quite more difficult because I have to memorize 50 hiragana and another set of characters like katakana. But yes, it's enjoyable for me. Yes, I try to practice writing every day. Personally, I'm inviting you to join our team in SLE. And if you are passionate social learners, and if you have not done that in English, this is the best time for you to try it, right? So it is really possible. And if you worry about the English level, we can adjust to that. And you will get the chance to talk about important issues, not only about the society, but about issues that which are related to our daily life. So I'll be waiting for you to join our team. So I want to say, matane.